Welcome to another edition of Rust Rants, where I come on and I rant about, well, whatever is honking me off today. So on a previous Rust Rants, I talked about Angel Hernandez and what a pathetic, worthless umpire he is, especially after the game he had with the Phillies and the Brewers, where he just kept missing strike call after strike call after strike call, to the point where Kyle Schwarber, the who could be like the identical twin of Amos, the character from The Expanse, absolutely went Krakatoa on him. So after that all happened, a lot of people were bringing up the case for maybe now is the time we need robot umps in this game, because we just can't afford to have someone like Angel Hernandez behind home plate screwing things up. And I know baseball has been experimenting with robot umps in some of the lower minor leagues, and this year they're going to experiment with a robot umpire system in the AAA ranks, and it's going to be a system where you'll still have an umpire behind the plate, but teams can actually appeal ball and strike calls, I think 3 times per game. Some of the ones at the lower level, they've just done away with human umpires and just gone to this robotic system in some select games. Now, as far as I'm concerned, I'm not a big fan of robot umpires. And I'll tell you someone else who also isn't a big fan of robot umpires, and that is Joe West. And this guy has been one of my least favorite umpires for the longest time, and I can't believe I'm actually agreeing with something that Joe West says, but you know what? You got to give credit where credit is due. Now, Joe West, now this is from an interview he did with CBS Sports Radio, and according to Joe West, he said, quote, "The problem with robotic umpires is it's not as accurate as they're making it out to be. They grade these major league umpires on every pitch they call. They grade them with a triangulation of scopes so they can tell if the ball's over the plate, low, high. Each umpire is graded, given a score at the end of the game. We don't have an umpire, and we haven't for the last 4 years, who scored less than 95%. Well, I don't know, maybe every once in a while they'll do that for Angel Hernandez. There's a couple that are off a little bit. Angel Hernandez, I think, is off by a lot. But 95% is well above the average of what this thing is. And the robotic umpires they're using, they've proven it misses 7% of the pitches. When the robotic umpire misses a pitch, it doesn't call anything. When the umpire calls a pitch, human umpire, he still calls something. So believe me, if they thought they could put a machine back there, they'd call all of the pitches. They would have done it before now." End quote. And I totally agree with Joe West on that. To me, baseball needs a human element. And yeah, umpires are bound to make mistakes. We want to try to, I'm not going to say eliminate. You can't eliminate mistakes from the game, but you can try to reduce them as much as possible. And maybe a system that helps the human umpires could help, but not a system that replaces them or second guesses them. That I am totally against. And again, as Joe West says, these robot umps aren't as accurate as everyone makes them out to be. And think about it. Look at your own computer at home. Look at your computer at work. How many times have they glitched or given you problems? And you can probably say, well, John, if Major League Baseball implements it, well, they'll have the most expensive and bestest and fanciest equipment out there. It's like, yeah, well, you know what? The U.S. military has some of the most advanced computerized equipment and weaponry in the world. But some of those systems wind up failing from time to time. So no system is perfect. And like I said, I just want a human element in this game. And you know what? Like, if we're going to take the human element out of the game, if we're going to have robot umpires, if we're going to have, managers taken out of the game, or managers, the only thing they do is obey whatever stats and analytics a computer tells them to do, if we're going to have all that, you know what? Why don't we just make baseball an e-sport if we're going to have all this computerized junk in there that makes the sport less and less fun? And also, a robotic umpire means we're not going to have all those arguments between players and managers and umpires. And I'm sorry, but I'm a guy, I like watching players, managers, and umpires screaming at one another when a call doesn't go their way. Well, now a word from our sponsor. Does your toilet have rings that always need cleaning? Do you have hard water spots on your shower doors? Calcium buildup on your faucets? Just imagine what all of that is doing to the inside of your washing machine, dishwasher, refrigerator, your hot water heater. And what about the pipes inside your body? Buy a filter or be a filter. You can have clean, mineral-rich water without the buildup of unwanted toxins in your body and throughout your whole home. Call Vicki Johnston today at H2O Health and Water Solutions at 928-899-7504 or stop in and see her at the Gateway Mall. Folks, that's going to do it for my rant. Be sure to follow KYCA on all our social media, Facebook, Instagram, Rumble, Vimeo, and of course, check us out at kyca.info. I will see you next time.